Hello and welcome back to Watch Companion. I'm Jason and today we are looking at this masterful watch. This is the Vacheron Overseas in rose gold with a silver dial. Before we begin, I just want to say I'm very appreciative to everyone who supports this channel. Please like this video and subscribe. It really helps Watch Companion to continue to grow. Alright, let's get right into this video. Alright, let's say you're in the market to buy a watch. Maybe it's your first watch and you want this to be your only watch too. Money's not really a concern and you definitely want it to be a luxury item that has a beautiful finish, but is also very respected in the watch community. The only thing is you don't want the attention that a vastly known brand shepherds, Rolex. The oyster style 3-link bracelet of a Rolex is just really noticeable across the room. That's why we are going to be exploring this artful piece produced by Vacheron. Now, it's okay if many of you have not heard of Vacheron before. Believe it or not, Vacheron is actually the oldest continuous manufacturing watch brand, chugging along since 1755. Although somewhere in the last 50 years or so, Vacheron fell more through the cracks as a brand. Now, I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about in popularity. Other brands such as Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, Rolex just reigned. That's enough now about the Vacheron branding. I'm going to make a video at some point in the next couple months about the brand and its Maltese insignia. But for now, let's talk about why we are here, the Vacheron Overseas. This watch is a real beauty. Unfortunately, it's not my watch and I am just showcasing it. So the first thing I see though, when I look at this watch, is the 6-pointed bezel. It has a polished finish, and according to VC, is a motif of the company's Maltese insignia. This really confused me at first because if we look at the logo on the dial, we see that its Maltese is a 4-pointed shape. So what is the correct amount of points that a Maltese has? What I found is a Maltese really can be any assortment of points, including odd numbers, even like 5. More about this, the prior generation of Overseas models actually had 8-pointed Maltese bezels, which again is different than what we have currently with 6. This current 6-pointed Overseas is relatively new and was released in 2016 as a 3rd generation Overseas model. I think Vacheron decided to move away from its 8-pointed Maltese prior design because it kind of dragged attention towards another luxury watch brand that many people know that also uses an 8-pointed shape. AP is way more popular, so changing the Overseas design was a smart play. Another reason I believe VC chose the 6-pointed shape is because this watch is nautically themed. Okay, so what? You're probably saying to yourself. Now, let me ask you this. What item on a ship is essential for navigating and looks like this bezel? I'll give you a second to think about this. Okay, the ship's steering wheel, or more properly, it is called the ship's helm. This is a nice little touch VC used in their design. Now, the silver dial is of course a sunburst, as many luxury watches are. It's nice, but I can't help myself from thinking it just looks like bare metal. Although, I can mention that it is easy to match with really any rubber or leather strap, and this comes in more important as we go on more in this video. Speaking of, the Overseas line actually has a toolless quick release ability that far surpasses Rolex or AP in this regards. Those brands actually don't even have such a mechanism. For this, all you have to do is press the lever distal to the watch, Now this releases the grip of the strap, and you simply move the strap away from you. Now, don't try pulling it to the side because that's just not going to work. If you look more closely at the mechanism that attaches, it's a U shape. This makes more sense now why we have to push it away and not to the side, because it would just grab it then. To reattach the strap, just align it and push it right back in. The next part for switching out your strap is to detach the buckle. I also just wanted to point out that the buckle is also a Maltese logo, so more props to Vacheron for that. Okay, so first unhook the longer part of the strap. The smaller part of the clasp you now rotate 180 degrees, and it can just lift apart from the buckle. To reattach the strap, it is the same process in reverse. The smaller end of the strap aligns opposite of what it would normally. You then rotate it. Now the longer part of the strap is fed through the buckle to your desired length. That's it. Real simple, and you don't have to worry about scratching the lugs or the watch case, and definitely no tools. If I could change anything, I'd change the straps. Just wanted to make a joke, but seriously, it's true. Being able to change the straps removes a major stumbling block, and it lets you run wild with your preferred options and colors or materials. Regarding the straps, there was a lot of detail that VC put into this. There are little grooves that give the rubber, more an elevated topography. I might be far off, but for some reason, it reminds me of like ancient day tablets, Babylonians used. The repetitive V structure is just pleasant to look at. Next up, let's talk about the leather straps. They are, of course, alligator, as most luxury company straps are, but on the bottom portion of the leather seems to be some kind of suede, and this really differentiates it from other leather straps that I've seen. I'm not really a leather person though, so I would just stick with the rubber, but this is very nice for, more formal occasions. Now, there also is a bracelet option. It depends on which overseas models you choose, because a bracelet might not come factory with the watch, as was the case with this model. There is, though, the ability to purchase the gold bracelet separate, but it's a whopping $18,000 for it. I know, you could buy a Rolex and then some for that price. This, of course, is additional to the $39,000 that you would normally be paying just for the watch, even. One thing I can say, this watch does, though, come factory with one dark brown rubber and one dark brown alligator leather strap. Now, the owner of this watch also wanted a white rubber, and in my opinion, this definitely elevates this watch much more than the brown options do. The only complaint I have about getting more straps is the price again. So you need to buy a gold attachment, unless you want to use a steel attachment, which is free. But the gold attachment, it's about $270. Now, just for the strap though, for a rubber, it's about $320. So you're spending quite a pretty penny just to get more options. But people who are going to be paying this much for a watch anyway, what is a couple $100 in the grand scheme? This is not a cheap watch, but you are getting a great quality item. So why would this be for you? This is a watch that really is meant to be your only watch. You could switch it to leather to be more formal, or you could keep it as rubber to be your everyday item. There also is the bracelet option that if you really want to go, full gold and really formal looking. The ability to switch from rubber to leather to bracelet, it really adds another layer of customization. If you're more curious though about the specifics of this watch, I have them on the screen right now. They're kind of boring, so I don't usually go over them anymore. This is a great watch, and I really hope you enjoyed seeing it. Thanks for watching.